We got her on the line.
Yeah.
It's Lyn Christian from soulsalt.com. How you doing, Lyn?
I am great, and what a show this morning.
Oh,
I
my
mean, everything from Hollywood to Sexy Beast to Pop-Tarts to Boundaries to Britney Spears. Let's do it.
Oh, you're awesome.
It's been a crazy show this morning. And we talked about the boundaries. We did that topic because you were going to be on this morning. And it's something that we do talk about on our show from time to time and how important boundaries are. And not only to implement them, but to enforce them. And that is easier said than done. So do you want to start with, because I know there's a lot to get to here, and I'm excited to talk about this.
Let's jump in.
Yeah. So let's talk about do you want to do the different types of boundaries, kind of break those down?
Well, there are different types. I mean, you can put them anywhere. You can put them in your time schedule. A lot of us don't do that.
Okay.
Physical space, how people communicate with each other, how people have emotional connection. I mean, almost any part of your life could require a boundary.
Right.
And if there's a territory in your life that doesn't have a boundary, then it's open to the wild things running in. And I think Britney Spears' story is just epic when it comes to boundaries and how hard it is to say no, especially to family, especially if somebody has you captive. And hopefully the audience doesn't have anything that drastic, but we all have a place where we could set better boundaries.
So, and I was going to say, it's easier said than done. And this is what we talk about is like, setting them is one thing and then enforcing them, especially when you have somebody in your family or in your life, coworker or a family member or a friend that just doesn't give a crap and is going to walk all over them, especially if they're used to getting away with things and they're used to walking all over you.
They're just oblivious, and no offense, they're idiots about boundaries, you know?
Right. Well, and let's just go through a checklist of if you might have a boundary somewhere that needs to be set. Okay. Should we go through that checklist?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, if you're a person with some simmering anger, aggression, and hostility, I'm thinking about the woman talking about the brother-in-law coming into their area at the house and taking from their refrigerator. So simmering anger, aggression, or hostility that you feel inside of you could indicate you need to set a boundary. If there's unhealthy communication like yelling, name-calling, or really excessive verbal abuse, passive-aggressive interactions, where somebody does something, you can't put your finger on it, but you feel worse after, or pain. A lot of people have pain from past wounds, and they don't know why they can't just get over it, probably because a boundary hasn't been put into that arena of their life.
Good call.
Maybe burnout, emotional demands, and frequently feeling unsafe. Those are good checkpoints to look at and go, do I have any of those? Because if I do, chances are I need to put a boundary down.
And I guarantee there's people listening going, check, check, and check.
True.
Yeah, and let's talk about what a healthy boundary is and what it's not, because it's hard to place if you don't know what it is. So first of all, it's reasonable and it's based in reality. It considers the needs of all people involved, so it's respectful, it's honest and transparent. It addresses appropriately channeling whatever's happening, frustration, anger, whatever it is. It's clearly stated what is appropriate, what's not appropriate, and it teaches us all where the limits are. But it's unhealthy if it's unreasonable, based on delusion or fantasy, takes only one viewpoint into consideration, focuses on people-pleasing, is based on guilt and shame and fear and worry. If it's wishy-washy, and it leaves people, including ourselves, wondering, where is that line? So those little bits, might be helpful for folks today.
Okay. So what about you personally? And we don't have to get specific, but in your life, like who have you had, well, again, you don't have to say who, but I'm sure you've had to implement these as far as boundaries. In different situations, family, friends.
Exes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Myself, because I can run over my own time. I can misuse my own time. Family members, friends, work situations, contracts with clients. I think wherever we go, if we have a healthy boundary, we have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like you teach people how to treat you.
True.
And that's where, these boundaries come into play. It's like if it's just like you said, wide open, then people they're going to take advantage of you.
True.
Yeah. And let's do something. Let's give a free gift here really quick, and then I know you have a way to get people to my guide on setting boundaries. But just as a bonus, 3 steps you can take quickly to help establish a boundary.
Okay.
Step 1, say, I feel, and then add the emotion. What is the emotion? Frustrated, disillusioned, angry, sad. So I feel, add the word for the emotion.
Okay.
Because I value. Maybe because I value harmony or connection. And then the third thing is can we discuss a healthy boundary in this area? So I feel, name the emotion, maybe I feel frustrated because I value connection. Can we sit down and establish a healthy boundary so we can have a better connection? That would be a friendly way. If you have someone who can meet you there, you'll find out quickly, and if you have somebody who can't, then you have a bigger problem with your boundary. But that's a 3-step process you can use to set a boundary, co-create it with the other person so that it's based in reality. And it's just a starter kit right there.
I love it.
That's
this is
perfect.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. How to get your free guide, okay, on how to set healthy boundaries. This is what you want to do, and it's one word: set boundary. Very appropriate, right? Set boundary to 44222. So that's set boundary to 44222. You can get your free guide from Lyn on how to set healthy boundaries.
That's
this is
cool.
something that, again, we've been talking about this for a long time as far as boundaries, and I know it's hard for people.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, like I over the years, I mean, I've been really good about this, and I'm, it's touchy, especially when you're in a relationship and you're trying to set them, and you try to get, like, I try to bend more, and because I maybe had been a little too rigid over the years.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's important to have boundaries in place, and I'll tell you, there's nothing better than having those in place, and that there's you got, it's very kind of black and white on what they are, and it just makes life a lot easier.
Yeah,
it makes life a lot easier because people, and professionally too, I mean, people know that they're not going to be able to take advantage or, well, I want this last minute. It's like, that's not how we work.
Yeah.
These are the healthy boundaries that I set a long time ago. And this isn't how we play.
Yeah.
Right. This isn't how we work here.
So, Lyn, we were kind of talking about this. Does this stem from, because some people are good about boundaries, and I think some people learn and they become good, or they're just good at it, or I'm kind of hit or miss. So is this like childhood stuff that comes up, or is it being a female? We feel like, I don't want to hurt that person's feelings, so I'm going to deny myself my own boundary. How does this all shake out?
Yeah, it can be gender oriented, but it doesn't have to be. We have a lot of women who feel like they are the servants and they've been trained that, and that's their role. We can learn it from childhood. Parents who don't respect us when we're children teach us that we are not to be respected. It can come from a lot of places. Some of us just slip into it later in life, too, where we let in a narcissist or someone unwittingly that doesn't have good boundaries. And we think that's the way life is supposed to be. And then we wonder, why do we feel so yucky? Why does life feel out of control or chaotic when it shouldn't?
Yeah.
So again, you gotta text it to 44222. Set boundary. It's one word to get your free guide on how to set healthy boundaries. Lyn, we love you, and we're sad that we were thinking you were coming in this morning.
We wanted a hug.
But maybe next time. we'll have you in studio.
Maybe next time. Yeah, let's do this.
All right. You take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you,
Okay.
girl.
You too.
Okay.
Alrighty.